Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and today we're going to be going over the brand new Magikeys archetype that is coming from the Majesty's main set for the card game. So it is a deck that is based off of a normal monster, 2 rituals, 2 fusions, and other cards. And there's going to be definitely future support for this. So let's get right into it. We have Magikeys Clavis, or Magikeys Skyblaster Clavis. He is a warrior, normal, dark, level 4, attack 1900, defense 1900. And his flavor text, because he is a normal monster, says, every person is brimming with potential to go or to stop, to close or to open, depending on yourself. There are many doors in this dazzling world. What opens them is a magical key. 2 keys and 1 door. 2 wills and 1 form. If the doors open, the world shall be connected, and an enormous power shall reveal itself. So this deck, this card sounds definitely like a riddle deck, because 2 keys, 1 door. 2 forms, 1 door. Actually, 1 form. 2 wills, 1 form. So these are the 2 wills right here. 1 form, which is him. Now we have the Magikeys Blaster Botso Buster. Now, if you notice on every single artwork, it has the Clavis in it, as it's 2 forms for each summoning mechanic, which I could state that the future support will see synchros and XYZs for this deck because of the 4 and 8 that it has. So then we have the Botso Buster. He is the very first machine ritual effect tuner. He is the first ritual tuner monster. He's also a dark level 4, 2000 attack, 2200 defense. You can only ritual summon this card with Majesty. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is ritual summoned, you can add 1 Magikeys card from your deck to your hand. This is a very great card right off the bat because it is a Stratos for everything in the deck. This is very great. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a normal monster or Magikeys monster in your graveyard, you can place any number of cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck. If you do, negate that opponent's monster effect until the end of this turn, then draw cards equal to the number you placed. So the attributes we have are dark, earth, and wind so far. I'm going to say that we're going to have 1 of every single attribute depending on how the deck goes. Now we have Magikeys Cannon Garvist. It is a machine ritual effect earth, level 8, 2000 attack, 2800 defense. You could ritual summon this card with the Magikeys Mafta. You can only use the 2nd and 3rd effect of this card's name once per turn. This card gains 300 attack for each monster attribute in your graveyard. So fire, water, earth, wind, light, dark, and divine and creator god if we ever get hostile? Creator of light hierarchy? So you could essentially gain up to 3, 6, 9, there's 8, 2400 attack if able. So the 2nd effect, when your opponent activates the effect of a monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard, and you control this ritual summoned using monsters with 2 or more attributes, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. If this ritual summoned card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Magikeys monster from your deck to your hand. So this is a negate if you use 2 or more monsters with different attributes, which is amazing. Then we have a searcher for any monster in your deck when it leaves the field. This is a very good card. It's a negate and a search. I really like that. Then we have the Magikeys Summon Beast and Slybolus. It is a Beast Fusion Effect Tuner, Dark, level 4, 2200 attack, 2000 defense. So this actually power creeps out the sea monster Theseus. The fusion tuner monster that we got back in the Dark Illusion, Shining Victory, one of the two sets. I don't remember. But you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can add one Magikeys Mafia from your graveyard to your hand. Once per turn, you can target one opponent's attack position monster with the same attribute as a normal monster or Magikeys monster in your graveyard. Change it to defense and it loses 1,000 defense. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So it recycles your ritual spell, fusion spell from your graveyard to your hand. It changes battle position to defense and it loses 1,000, and it has a DMOC banish effect. This is actually very good. I really like that. Then we have Magikeys Summoned Beast and Drambius. So that's kind of like, oh, that's Andrombius. That sounds very familiar. Huh. Also, one Magikeys monster, one non-token okay. So, and it's one Magikeys effect monster, one non-token normal monster, so legit anything from the deck that you have. This is actually very generic. I like this. Like this, these two are very generic for what this just has one Magikeys monster, which is everything, and this needs an effect monster, which is everything but the normal monster. When fusion summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effect. Star Eater, cool. Once per turn, you can target one normal monster or a Magikeys monster in your graveyard. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with the same attribute. That is amazing. It is a board wipe. That's a very good effect on a fusion monster with those summoning condition. Once per turn, if an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard is destroyed by battle or card effect, and you control this fusion summon monster using two or more attributes as a material, draw one card. Okay, it's a generic. Okay, it's a pot of greed. Actually, no, Upstart Goblin. Also, where they are once per turn effects, but they're not hard opt. So if you have multiples, okay. That's not a hard opt effect. That's a little worrisome. Okay, let's go to the next one just to see what it is. Magikeys Mafia is the fusion spell, ritual spell. Fusion summon one Magikeys fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand and field as a material, or ritual summon one Magikeys ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field who total level equals or exceeds the level of the ritual monster. If you control a normal monster, you could also send one normal monster from your deck to the graveyard as a fusion material or as one of the required monsters required for the ritual summon. This is a very great card. A fusion spell and a ritual spell in one card. This is the first of its kind. And it's kind of like a Shaddoll fusion, but you have to control a normal monster to send the other. So you have a normal monster on the field. Let's say it's you normal summon rabbit, banish, summon out 2 of the level 4s. That's your normal monster on the field, or you can unexpected die. And then after that, you're going to activate this. You either ritual summon or fusion summon. This is good. Next we have Magikeys Unsealing. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. Okay, so the first two aren't hard opt, and the third one is. When this card resolves, you can add one Magikeys monster from your deck to your hand. So this is a Union Carrier. That Union Hanger, not Carrier. Okay, that's actually good. The first time each normal monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, except tokens, it is not destroyed. So it has a battle protection on your normal monsters, and I like that they're excluding tokens from this archetype because token generation, we've seen what it has done. We've seen Grinder Golem, Steam the Cloak, Gofu, Link Cross, and so many other token gens just straight up hit because of the link mechanic. And with this excluding the tokens, this is a better step forward of what Konami needs to do. Because since they changed that tokens are normal monsters, they have to change how cards are made. And if they were to get rid of, they are normal monsters, and they're just blank tokens with no typing or no status of what they are, then all those token gens can come back slowly. Because it's like, they just keep adding, accept tokens. And that's just a waste of space on the text. And the third effect, during your main phase, you can add one Magikeys Mafia from your deck to your hand, then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. So this is a double searcher, and it places a brick on the bottom of your deck. And the brick, I would most likely say, if you're running this deck, I would have to suggest running Gamma, because that's a very good hand trap, as it is a light, and it summons out a light, and you can use the two to do a myriad of things, to summon out the ritual monsters, to help summon out the fusion, because Driver is a normal monster, and Cyframes might have synergy with this deck, which is funny, because Driver, pretty good. Next we have Connected Magic Key. It is a normal trap card. Target one normal monster or Magic Key monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then apply one of these effects. Fusion summon one Magic Key fusion monster from your extra deck in defense position using monsters from your hand and field as fusion material. Or you could ritual summon a Magic Key ritual monster from your hand in defense position by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose level equals or exceeds the level of the ritual monster. So this is a great trap trick target. On top of it is a way to get your normal monsters off board. Like if you summon out if you use Gamma and you had no turn one play, you just Gamma summon out Driver and Gamma, and if you have a Magic Key monster in your hand, then you can fusion summon away the Driver and the monster in your hand, or everything to ritual summon out a monster, because it says total level equal or exceeds. I love when ritual spells and traps say exceeds the level. That makes the cards more powerful in the sense, because look at Necroz, it has to be exact. But this deck has to be equal or exceeds the level, which is more like the nostalgic days back in how the deck ran. And then finally we have Magic Key Locked Unlock. It is a counter trap. You can only activate one card with this name per turn. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a Magic Key ritual monster or a Magic Key monster special summon from the extra deck, that is a hinting to multiple extra deck types. So we might get Synchros and XYZs for this deck, maybe Link monsters, and it also negates the activation. And if you do destroy that card, then you can declare one attribute. And if you do, all face-up monsters your opponent controls currently become that declared type at the end of the turn. This is a counter trap. This is how you make a counter trap, Konami. This is one of the best counter traps to date, because it does the spell and trap card negation on top of making everything one current type. Man, if VFD is still legal when this comes out, this deck might be broken. But luckily, everything in this deck is a 4 and an 8, so you are locked into synchro summoning into 4s, 8s, and XYZ exceed summoning for 4s and 8s, on top of ritual summoning 4s and 8s. So overall, my thought on this deck. This deck is great. This deck, I could see getting future support. because it looks like the base level 4s are all going to be dark. Then we're going to have Earth, Wind, Fire, Water for the XYZ and Synchro. And if they give us a link, it might be a light, or it might be a light. But anyways, tell me your thought down in the description on the Magikey archetype, as this deck is going to be interesting to see how it plays. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.